Imagine you're a Saudi prince, an ultra-rich oligarch, or any other type of high net worth individual, and you laid your eyes on something like this. 44 meters, 4 stories, roughly 350 tons, 5 cabins, spacious interiors and timeless design. The perfect means of transportation for your next summer vacations. But it also comes at a hefty price point. A super yacht like the Benetti Diamond will start at a base price of roughly $25 million and will only go up from there depending on your customization. So, how do you finance that? Well, if you don't have the spare change at hand or you prefer to invest your liquid assets into projects that yield some return, you're most likely to contact the aviation and yacht financing department at the major financial institution such as the Credit Suisse who can help you out. While the Credit Suisse has long lent to billionaires to buy private jets, its move into yacht financing is relatively new. Previous investor presentations show that the bank only began lending for yachts in 2014, but rapidly expanded the business so that outstanding yacht loans exceeded $1 billion in 2021. Getting a foot into the yacht financing business definitely makes sense, as it acts as a door opener to acquire new ultra-rich customers and to retain their loyalty. This principle can be compared to the classic home mortgage for the middle class, for example. Thanks to the mortgage, the customer gets to know the bank better and appreciates its services. Chances are that the customer is doing more and more business with the financial institution that financed his property and becomes a loyal customer. Also, when looking at the yacht industry from a merely economic point of view, it is quite lucrative, with the market size for yachts being estimated at around $8.9 billion in 2023, which will grow to $11 billion in 2027. This growth is mostly driven by the increasing number of high net worth individuals and a rise in tourism. Now, after the Credit Suisse has collapsed this March after years of repeated scandals and has been purchased by Swiss rival bank UBS in a roughly $3.3 billion overnight deal, there's the decision to make which business units and departments to transfer from Credit Suisse to UBS and which ones will be sold off. UBS, which is now under the leadership of banking legend Sergio Amotti, thus decided to take over and continue the controversial yacht financing business. Although super yacht lending is a great opportunity for the UBS to acquire a new customer base of ultra high net worth individuals, it also poses some considerable challenges. First of all, the yacht loans business is quite complex because each yacht is unique. There are often no limits in terms of the design and equipment of a yacht. A spa, multiple swimming pools, a helipad or an open-air cinema, all of these things can be built, which makes the luxury vessel tough to value. But the lending bank must somehow determine the value of the yacht, as it perhaps has to sell it on if the borrower runs into financial difficulties, and most importantly, to define how big the granted loan will be. According to industry experts, a typical loan for a mega yacht that is at least 40 meters in length ranges from 40 to 60% of its value. In addition, the lending bank has to ensure that the yacht owner can manage and maintain its yacht and has a professional crew as well as a captain. Also, it is very common that the bank conducts periodic on-site inspections to check whether everything is going right. That the yacht financing business is quite a challenging one for banks also shows the example of Prince Fahd bin Sultan Al Saud. The Saudi prince, who has an estimated wealth of $1 billion, lost a $41 million lawsuit against the Credit Suisse in April this year. Fahd and his special purpose vehicle Burgundy Sea Ltd have been sued by Credit Suisse over a roughly $53 million loan that was used for the refinancing of his 82 meters mega yacht, the Sarafsa. Due to alleged breaches of the loan agreement from Prince Fahd, Credit Suisse demanded the immediate settlement of all debts. Prince Fahd and Burgundy admitted that only $13,500 of interest had been paid to Credit Suisse, but denied any interest was due or that they had breached the terms of the loan agreement. However, the judge at the London High Court said that Prince Fahd and Burgundy have no real prospect of successfully defending Credit Suisse's claims and therefore ruled in favor of the Swiss lender. In order to hedge themselves against the increasing risk of default that emerged from the yacht loans business, the Credit Suisse needed to become creative and found a quite controversial solution back in 2021: the usage of derivatives. What they did is the following: they quietly securitized a portfolio of loans linked to its wealthiest customers' yachts and private jets, and sold the risk associated with those loans to a selective group of hedge funds that by nature have a high risk appetite. An investor presentation revealed that Credit Suisse's top priority at that time was to maintain its positive brand at all costs. And this meant that the bank had to offer an incredible 11% annual interest rate to hedge funds to make the transaction somewhat interesting for them. Eventually, the structure of the deal shielded Credit Suisse from the first 4% of losses in the portfolio, which are instead borne by the hedge funds. But only 1 year later, a Financial Times report unveiled how the bank's international wealth management department offloaded its risks related to the yacht loans. Following this report, the Credit Suisse immediately urged hedge funds and other investors to destroy all documents related to the controversial securitization of loans and left any inquiries on this matter uncommented. Now that the UBS has decided to continue this difficult business of yacht lending, industry experts agree that they probably will act more conservative, which in concrete terms means to limit the loans granted and probably completely turn away difficult customers.